is a house built out of stone, wooden floors, walls and window sills, tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust. This is a place where I don't feel alone. This is a place where I feel at home.
My name is Teresa Pyatt. I've been interested in history since 7th grade, but I never ever dreamed that there was history here in Pridesburg. And I found out, lo and behold, we were occupied by the British in the winter of '78. Howe had his headquarters down Richmond and Orthodox in that Holly farm. I mean, it was really so much that went on here. I mean, Lafayette actually came through here. We went to the arsenal, and I think he stayed at Holly Hall. And that's an interesting thing, I think. And I personally saw Franklin Delano Roosevelt ride up Richmond Street. It originally was called Point No Point because of that optical illusion out there that you thought there was a point there, but when you sailed past it, there wasn't. And there was a verse that the children used to recite in school. Point, look out, point, look in, point, look out, and point again. And the road, what is actually Richmond Street now, went right down to, I guess, 2nd and Chestnut at one point, something like that, and all the way up to the creek. And that was called Point No Point Road, but then Joseph Kirkbride started a ferry across the Frankfort Creek. Then in, I think it was like 1795, by 1795 he had that. And he had a plot made up for a little village, which he called Kirkbridesburg. But then that was too long a name, so they shortened it to Bridesburg. He lived on Bridge Street, right by the river, where the Boys Club is. And there was a walkway along the river there, where he had planted cedar trees on each side of it. And it was a landmark for people coming up the river. There wasn't anything like the Black Bridge, the railroad bridge. There wasn't really anything but farms down there then. When they started to build the Betsy Ross Bridge, they intended for it to go all the way over and reach, I guess, maybe Adams Avenue over there on the boulevard. And as I say, my daughter Susan, she knew about the tombstones because they were down there all the time with their horses and all. Yeah, they were put there to shore up the land because it was washing away. I mean, that originally was all swamps down there. In fact, the whole Delaware River was swampland when the Indians were here. And I mean, they used to go. That's where they caught big sturgeon in in the Delaware River then. I mean, huge, 5 feet long sturgeon. But I guess because it had been a swamp, it would have gone back to being a swamp if they hadn't put something there to shore it up. And you could see that now. In fact, it is Temple who wants to build some place where there was a cemetery, and you would see ships going up and down. They came into what was the Philadelphia Coke Company, the Copper's Coke, and my sister and I used to sit at the back window, the bedroom window, and watch the tugboats and the ships come in there because they would take in and out coal and coke and all. And that was very fascinating. That truly was. And I mean, that nice little pier at the end of Bridge Street. I mean, I took my babies down there and they threw pebbles into the river. I mean, that was what you did. And it was also a good spot if you just wanted to go down with your boyfriend too. Yeah, that was the lovers' lane of Bridesburg at that time. But you can't get there anymore. We ever get access to the river, and you should see. I mean, this annoys me is that all up and down the Delaware River, every town has access to the river but us. Why?